it. Ask and you shall receive. Garen taking to the top lane into the Alawi of Teasums. Teasums really favoring these flip push champions. The Yorick last game, the Alawi this game. To my knowledge, it's a pretty good matchup for Alawi. Fairly easy to land the E onto Garen. Doesn't have any hard CCs for it to cleanse. And it's going to be winning that 1v1. I suppose Garen is able to take Ignite in this matchup and cut Alawi's healing down. So I think it could go both ways. But yeah.
They will never give that champion the visual update to Spirit Guard that it deserves because they have monetized it.
And then to follow up on your comment about the Garen skin, I don't know what it is about the skin, but for someone to get the prestige edition of that Garen skin, it just gives me like actually, man, I'm gonna come across as toxic again, but it just gives me like I don't know, like 12-year-old energy, like yo, robot Garen, whoa, you know what I mean? Like
I do understand what you mean. Yeah.
Like some child was just like, yo, this is so cool.
He's a transformer.
He's a Yeah, I don't know why that skin's always just giving me that energy.
Yeah, it's like, been like, oh my god, Gundam exactly. Garen.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna give the drip taker over to the Aura. So I think we can kind of just like call the stream there. Nothing else really matters as far as this game is concerned, besides the
Aura dripping too hard. Also, the Ashe skin is clean as hell, baby.
Yeah, Ashe skin's clean. Ashe skin's clean. And Alawi unfortunately just doesn't have much to choose from when it comes to skins.
No, but that Alawi skin's a banger. Like the whole Cosmic skin line is probably one of my favorites.
Oh, decent.
And the Cosmic Invoker Alawi is clean as hell.
Cool. And then getting into the game, relatively uneventful level 1. We saw CFZ going for the stack, expecting an Aura invade. Aura don't want to flip it. They handshake, they go start on their blue buff. And I think more than likely we're going to see 2 full clears coming out from the Udyr and the Hecarim, both extremely fast jungle clearers. They're going to be hitting that top side around the same time as each other. And I think that first crab might be where we see the action. Seeing the push come down in favor of the Ashe, which is to be expected with that wave clear.
Teasum's getting that grass proc out.
Yes sir, shaking hands.
Gonna grab another.
Grabs another one, he's stacking up. That guy's already unkillable.
He is scaling.
He's scaling, man. It's begun.
He's scaling like a motherfucking triangle. Every 14. Farming away.
Frostmoth going for
a lot of damage.
That was a clean trade from Frostmoth. Really knows his spacing well in that champion, it seems. As he lands pretty much a full combo onto Davis. Davis chunked out. Has the corrupting potions, has some sustain. Finally pops on. Getting hit by another Q though, it's not what you want. It's really a skill matchup mid lane as well. Lots of skill shots being thrown, and I think that's pretty much going to determine the outcome of that lane, is who lands more of them. So definitely exciting lane, could be pretty explosive with the
breaking news, the person that does better will be the one that does more damage.
But that's not always the case, dude. I mean, with some of these champions these days.
You must hit your skill shots. Oh,
as
Rip Winter
gets the red buff coming in for the Wibbly Theme invade, as he knows the Wibbly Theme is probably going to be double capping on his Hecarim. He's running him down, he's getting some big damage with the Phoenix stance. Teasum's coming in for some help, he smites the Gromp for some extra health, and he
gets the first blood.
Big kill onto Wibbly. Insane, I mean, that Phoenix stance damage early on is just not to be underestimated. Flashes in for that last auto, huge, huge damage, and a successful invade pulled off. Don't believe he got either of the camps, which you might have been hoping for, would have really pushed that lead over the edge. I think Garen picked up that. Oh, we see a hook land in the bot side. Duke Jame forced a flash. Granny's kind of getting some return damage, but the lands are keeping him to safety. And yeah, we see Wibbly back on the map with just a tear into boots. Potentially looking for a gank in the mid lane. He's hovering.
And everyone forgot, because he's not played jungle this season, Rip Winter's crackhead invades.
Yep. They don't know, man. These new kids, man, they don't know. Rip Winter, he knows these streets, dude. He runs them. Back looking for another hook. Big hook onto Granny's Panda. He's near the wall, so he might be able to skate out of there. But Juka Jamming has no flash if they want to continue to extend this trade. Knight gets dropped on Thresh. And Hecarim is once again lurking, looking for a gank. And seems things are quieting down a little bit. Teasum's running low on mana in that top side. Has some corrupting pop. We'll see if he does that, but he's looking to a recall. Interesting recall. Wave's not in a very advantageous position, so he's going to have to burn the TP to get back. I would assume. Else he's going to be losing out on a lot in that top side. As we see, Ari forced out of lane, has to recall. I think Davis an advantageous recall as that wave crashes under the turret. Udyr is back to his full clear. He runs up with the Tabby's first item. Pretty interesting choice. What do you think the Tabba is versus Merctread's debate this game?
I think Merctread's obviously with Udyr you just want to be running in straight lines, because the champion doesn't really do anything else. It's obviously going to give him a lot more survivability against the Garen, Hecarim, and Zeri, but whether you'd want the Ahri charm and Karma's slows to be reduced is another question. Possibly he may have tenacity runes, which might do the job for him.
Yeah, definitely can make a case for both. Just think it's interesting. A lot of Udyrs often opt for lucidity boots as well, just to get more uptime on your passive and your spells. You see the towers come out from him, and they're a very smart invade from the Udyr. Knowing that Hecarim has been on the spot side arguably a bit too long, and Udyr just managed to collect both of these camps. Might have been a trade for Udyr's camps, I'm honestly not sure, I don't remember. And Davis hits the 6 first, Frostmoth full HP, so not too susceptible to that unleashed power. Hecarim is coming in for a gank in the mid lane.
On Davis, that's a nice...
Good flash, definitely just cutting as hard as he can towards his Udyr, who runs straight into a charm. You see the Ignite drop on Winter, and there's just too much damage and too much kiting potential coming out from Frostmoth and Wibbly Deem as they kill
Davis
Udyr.
does not know that MDiv is there.
However, T-Sims is on the way, but 2 turret shots. Slightly too much. Really close fight. Could have gone either way, definitely. Both junglers going down. Slight advantage, obviously, in the favor of CFFC for that exchange. 2 kills on Frostmoth, and Ahri is just a deadly champion right now. Arguably a little bit overtuned. I think they really well.
I used to consider dodging every time an Ahri was picked in my solo queue games, because I just thought she was a useless champion, and now I think she's just absolutely absurd, and I wouldn't blame you if you permabanned her as a mid player.
Yep. Champion is, I think it's so tough because it just dictates the pace of the lane. It can play really safe and farm from range if it wants to, or it can run you down from 2,000 units away with 3 dashes. So yeah, just a versatile and strong champion. And you know, I think it's honestly going to be a pretty devastating pick. As you see, a huge trade from T-Sims in the top side, as Garen eats that full test of strength. What is that ability called? Like
Garen...
Alawi.
Alawi E.
Yeah, that's the pure one.
The good suck.
Thank you, Aiden. Your boundless insight into the League of Legends video game.
Test of Spirit.
Test of Spirit, yeah. That was close, that was close. But despite the good trade, I mean, Garen is up a sizable chunk of CS. Going for a roam, picking up some honey fruits, getting back to full HP. Wibbly Deem charging into the mid lane, has his ult available to him. A really clean fear into the knockback. Davis, no flash. And you can't be standing that far off, I'm afraid. Hecarim just has so much ability to gap close. Beckler walking up, looking for a hook. He's taking a little bit of damage here. A little bit too much.
Granny's trying to get the kill with the ult. Hecarim's coming in as well. Heal off the Ash. He has to flash away, but this is going to be a dive. The
nice
E still goes
ult
through.
To land on the Hecarim. If one more turret shot comes through. Yeah.
That is not ideal for off-roll.
Yeah, unfortunately that point blank Ash ult just isn't the greatest self-pill because the stun obviously scales with travel time. So yeah, just not really enough CC to lock down that Hecarim under the turret for long enough. Falls and just slight overstep from Beckler. Just start this chain of events, and now CFC have the first dragon on their side, and they're looking towards that dragon soul. Nice stun from Davis onto Frostmoth. Not looking for any follow-up damage. I guess scared as he knows that the CFFC team were in the river recently. Udyr looking for another topside invade, pressuring the enemy blue buff. But Ahri and Karma seem wise to it as they're heading in that direction, but he's already out of there.
Karma is blending into that topside jungle, out of vision completely, like a Karma chameleon. As we are currently, and that is going to be Scuttle picked up by Rip Winter.
And
Maybe, you know, he's got a very nice farm lead, but maybe probably get a bit frustrated that he's not been able to impact the map like he might have wanted to.
yeah, it's always
Does
the
have the
trade-off with
Herald though.
Rumble.
He does have the Herald.
Yeah, I think we both completely missed that somehow. Not
I think it was while Hecarim ran bot.
Okay, yeah. So smart play from Ripwood, just taking the cross map play, going in for a pretty aggressive invade. He does have a phase rush, might be able to get away here, as he's not taking too much damage on Hecarim and the
Allow is walking
Garen by
down.
virtue of his Tabai. Manages to kite that one out. And yeah, it's always the age-old decision when you're jungling is what is the correct sort of distribution ganks versus farming. And we've already seen Ripwood to take the farm in a safe objective route while Wibbly's been putting a lot of pressure onto the mid and bot lane this game. So we're going to have to see how Udyr is able to exert this gold lead he's generating. Could we possibly get a gold check? Just see how things are stacking up across the board. So I'm curious to see how much gold this 40 CS discrepancy has manifested in. As you see the Hull Breaker come out for Alawi. Despicable, really. But you do what you gotta to get this LP.
I think that Alawi in itself is despicable, so
Really?
fuck that champ.
That champ's like, I feel like that champ's so like just straightforward and manly. I feel like if I die to Alawi, I'm like, I know what I did wrong. You know what I mean?
Nope.
I
Nope.
mean,
Wrong.
I feel like Alawi's pretty Chad build. As we see a hook land onto Duke Jamming.
But yeah, the same as last time where Beckler's coming off worse in those trades. Where he took the Glacial Augment, he's not quite tanky enough like he would be with Aftershock.
And here we're seeing the product of Teasums' top lane pressure manifesting in a Herald being dropped, getting 2 plates, and they might even try and walk this into the tier 2 turret. Those tier 2 turrets giving a dramatic amount of gold at the moment. So it could be pretty critical if they're able to get this charge off and start pressuring it with the Hull Breaker. Hecarim answering on the other side of the map, but not much to do because Winter recently cleared it. And it looks like Garen has some pretty good wave clear, enough to get rid of all the minions. That turret softened up and it could be another big chunk of gold that Aura need in their pockets. As the kills might say one thing, CFFC obviously having 5, but the gold lead is actually still slightly favouring off-roll Aquarium, only about 500, but it goes to show just the sheer farm discrepancy we're seeing in multiple roles right now, and obviously all the turret plate gold. So definitely wouldn't count out off-roll just yet, as Dabis just burns his flash, but not enough to get away from this pairing of Hecarim and Ahri. As we've seen the Granny Spanner, Zeri ult being dropped, Beckler hook landing, but there's so much damage coming out from this Zeri right now as she's melting both players. And Granny Spanner is tanking the turret, looking for the kill on Beckler, and he manages to pick it up.
He is going to go down. I don't know how necessary. Oh!
And Winter has just backed.
He's got his from Winter.
He's got his crossfire gauntlet. Karma drops the burn. A little bit unfortunate for off-roll Aquarium right there as well, because Zeri obviously had a substantial shutdown after the few kills she picked up. Does unfortunately go to Thresh by virtue of the Ignite. So maybe it was a tactical int from Granny Spanner's side, giving the shutdown support, not what you want to see for Aura. And yeah, I mean, Aura, CFFC's bot lane, despite, you know, what point values might indicate, flexing their muscles this game. And Harry putting on a clinic, Duke jamming, really just pressuring Beckler constantly, and yeah, extending their lead.
I think the CFFC bot lane have been unsung heroes this season.
100%.
Particularly in maybe like the second half of the season.
Definitely.
Some of the performances that they're churning out, like just really impacting the map as a whole, rather than just. I think people might have thought that, like, you know, that might be the weak point when you look at the team, like, well, based on ranks, that's what that would tell you on paper, but they're holding their own against everyone, to be honest.
100%. And I think that as far as UNL as a whole is concerned, I think that's one of the great things about UNL is that, like, obviously you do see quite a big skill discrepancy even within teams when it comes to player rankings. But one of the things I really like about the league is that oftentimes games aren't just decided based on how well your 100-point player plays, right? It's often about these moving pieces alongside them that determine, you know, whether or not games are won or lost, you know. Honestly, I think that's a pretty cool aspect of UNL. It means that everyone really gets to pressure and, you know, exert influence on the game. And I think it's really healthy. And it's nice to see people like Granny Spanner, you know, subverting expectations and just putting in work. As you see, Dragon number 2 coming in for CFFC, starting up on that Salt Timer. As we see the Hex Gates activating. Jace from Arcane. Oh my god, I love that guy. He made the Hex Gates, right?
I heard that someone looks like him. And Rip Winter is gonna live!
He's out of there, baby. Triumph coming in
Teasers.
clutch, whereas we're seeing the Ari effect just dashing
He
around.
may have been in the shop.
Probably. Teasum's getting 4 tentacles going, but he's walking away from them. Probably not what you want to do as allow it. As Jesus.
Browning is spanning with that slide. Is that Tony?
Stylish. Stylish. Yeah, Rip Winter with the almost clutch escape. Just playing towards his strongest lane right now, which is obviously the Alawi. Trying to get some things done on the top side of the map. Does manage to pick up the Garen kill, but losing 2 in exchange is probably not what you want to see. However, despite everything that's happening, still 1k gold lead for Aura. And I think that's a CS lead for obviously Winter and Davis in the mid lane. And then the plates, you know. Not lost, but this Dragon Soul timer is ticking, and we're about to see a Herald picked up, which could spell the game being broken wide open for CFFC if they manage to get some turrets down with this one.
Gale Force picked up for the Ashe, so she will be dodging a bit more. Or using it to jump directly into a Garen's face. We will see which of the two is going to come around there. But
He could be
the
your
Andrews
ankle
as well
or
for Syndra has been completed. I'm getting a Frozen Heart second on Udyr, it looks like. So
I was just about to bring up the Udyr build. Udyr is one of those champions where it can be really versatile. Lots of items work on him. AD and AP, tank, you know, has lots of item choices available to him, which means I think one of the biggest forms of skill expression the champion has is your item management and what you choose to build. So what do you make of the Crossfire Gauntlet, Frozen Heart, as we see once again MDiv being targeted in this side lane as Rip Winter is chasing him down. Is it a personal vendetta? Who knows? As Rip Winter dealing some big damage with that Phoenix stance. I think it's chased that Wibbly team. The Becker's on the way, so it's currently a 2v3 if Thresh gets there in time. So CFC don't like their odds and are walking away. And this Udyr is just really a menace right now. Very farmed, very tanky, very fast, really just sticking to people. Not much Garen could do in that scenario versus the Ashe slows and the Udyr slows. Teasum's just collecting that turret on the side lane.
The Hullbreaker is coming through big. And I like this Iceborne Gauntlet into Frozen Heart. He's so icy, he a glacial away. Vekla caught out in his own jungle. Take the Hex Gate. But Rip Winter's coming.
Rip Winter's in there with his Frozen Heart. 2 levels up on Wibbly team. I don't think they have the damage to take him down here, so Udyr is going to be running
coming in from Alawi.
Alawi's coming in with the TP. Will she be able to get anything done? Not sure. Champion's not very mobile. As Aquarium
picking up. Oh, Udyr does Hexgate in.
Yep. Taking advantage of that Hexgate to invade into the enemy jungle. We'll see if he's able to get anything done there. And I think Aura are going to try and translate this small skirmish win into some mid lane pressure, but Ari's there ready to hopefully get some wave clear down. So not sure if they'll be able to make too much of a dent in that turret.
Ari is a strong champion, but Davis is doing his best to keep up that farm gap that he's got. You know, he's up about 25 farm at the minute.
Yeah.
Top lane near enough even, but that Alawi has 2 turrets to her name. 50 farm diff in the jungle, and actually wouldn't be. So does the support item count for Ashe's CS?
I believe it increases both players' CS numbers. I think it
Increases
does.
both numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have about a 20 farm lead for CFFC in the bot lane.
Which I guess makes sense considering Udyr really, played hard to get his Alawi online, and then Hecarim came bot a couple times. But yeah, I think Davis keeping up with CS here is going to be critical. Syndra's one of those champions where she has a lot of skill expression, but ultimately does come down to sort of a stat check. It's whether or not her ult kills you, So getting that CS money is going to be crucial to making sure her damage stays relevant throughout the game. And yeah, Aura really going toe-to-toe with CFFC right now. 2k gold lead. Rip Winter
Winter
Looking to get some
running
pressure.
in. He's gonna slam that stun. Does not need the lantern. I got brought to
Alawi
no
generating a lot of pressure in this top side. MDiv going for a fight. I'm not sure if this is favorable. If Alawi tries to drop the ult, she's gonna, you know.
Isms are holding the ult. It's a very smart play. And are they gonna try and do something here?
Winter
is running in.
Very early fight from Winter, unfortunately. And the fight is looking pretty split right now. Wibbly on the backline while February is DPS in the Karma. February with some big kiting, playing towards his teammates, and Wibbly just gets rings run around him as Feb showing one of his big stun from Davis, King QE.
But Alawi is taking that inhib turret.
Taking that inhib turret, I think we saw a duel go on between Garen and Alawi as she dropped the ult before and this Garen is just not doing enough damage to this Hullbreaker champion right now. Hullbreaker just, you know, being extremely balanced, putting on a lot of pressure, and the base is cracked open as early as 20 minutes. Back to the hook going wide, creating some space for February and Davis to DPS this turret. Hopefully going to be the turret falling down. And that 2k gold lead has been extended all the way up to a 4k gold lead right now. It is counteracted by the 3 dragon advantage that CFFC currently have. But I think we're seeing the win conditions of both teams become very clear right now. And that is Soul Point for CFC versus this intense side lane pressure that Teasums is being able to lay down. So yeah, if they get to keep extending this, then Aura have a really clear way into this game.
Under completed on Alawi as well, so she's going to be healing off the Garen. I actually don't think that Garen can do anywhere near the amount of damage he needs to do.
Yeah, I really think Garen should have gone Ignite in this lane, as we see Granny Spanner without his flash just burn. Skates along the wall, but Udit doesn't give up. Fuck, dude, he's too fast, he's running him down. Tries to leave the kill for his AD carry, but Zeri actually hasn't died yet, and it looks like she might live. Very greedy play from Winter. I think he should have just secured that kill, but hindsight is 20/20.
He's coming in. Winter is going to go down.
As Garen has a big flank and an enormous Aquarium ult is going to take down both, and Baron is currently alive on the map, and that could be where CFC put their attention now. Really sad series of events, all things considered. It looked like a pretty big catch on the Zeri, but she just managed to get out of there due to Udyr trying to get the kill to his AD carry, which obviously you respect, but Ash just not in range to deal that final blow. Alawi's there, she has flash, she has ult. This could be her moment. She's scaled, she's got 2 items. Fresh fuck off, so she gets a Hullbreaker buff, and she could really do some work right here. R-Flash. Let's go, he lands it. Hecarim taking a lot of damage, just needs to be DPSing whoever he can. Teasum, Dugo jamming dies on the back of the fight.
Teasum is an angry man. Thresh, I think, is probably...
Teasum is fuming as big tentacles lands, healing him very much, and while he only was able to take down 1 member of CFFC, he has stunted their Baron DPS and has bought a lot of time for Udyr to get back into the game. Udyr takes a portal all the way to the other side of the jungle as a big arrow lands. February doesn't have his spell force. Dodges the charm.
February 14th gets the kill, and they're
Takes
going to trade.
In return.
Big stun from Davis.
Big stun from Davis. A huge amount of damage coming out from the Unleashed power, and Udyr is able to pick up that shutdown. Is chasing down Wibbly team. No ghost available for Hecarim, but can he get out of there? He's pretty fast with his E, and then Karma Shield coming back in as well, but...
Garen and Karma both there to back up their... Oh, and the burn stops him from...
The red buff burned. The thorn in his side, almost able to take the Hex Gate technology created by Jason from Arcane.
In, inside the pit.
Season 2 coming next year. And Udyr can't get out of there. As these ports, people are just going to and from.
I do not know.
Flying back and forth over the Baron. This is the longest Baron play I've ever seen, but Alawi again picks up the Karma kill.
I think the beef got back there.
Big respect to everyone. Just these portals, just people phasing to and from. And I mean, it was a messy fight. It's pretty hard to decipher who came out on top. There's a lot of kills are traded on both sides. We're seeing the gold lead has been minimized a little bit. Now back to only 2k, but it's been a very close game. Syndra with no flash available to her, has the ult available. Being chased down by Yestin's Garen right now. Drops some damage. Teasum is on the way though. Unfortunately, Teasum doesn't have the most CC or peel, but might be able to pick up the kill on the Garen. Darius has not yet died. The Justice
is gonna go down.
Marcy and Justice dropping bows on the Syndra. But again, Teasen is just allowed to walk all the way up in the side lane. Exerts the pressure. Beckler looks like he might be a little bit out of position here. Doesn't have the flash available to him. And Hecarim, great champion for punishing champions that step out of line. As Teasen was coming in for a flank, no flash available to him, so it might be hard for him to get into this fight. Alawi's big weaknesses are obviously she gets kited easily, as Hecarim goes straight in for the dive onto February 14th. Without her support available, Ashe just drops. Teasen's on the backside of the fight, is fighting a Garen 1v1.
Forcing away, but that is going to be too much damage. Rip Winter's also likely to go down here.
Alawi drops the ult.
Yeah.
Garen kiting out, taking some damage. If they just cut out her ult duration, there's pretty much no way she can win this, unfortunately. As she's going to drop to the damage from CFFC. And with Dragon spawned as well, that's Soul available for CFFC. If they want it, they might say they just don't give a shit and they're just taking the base. Starting to save Syndra's life, but all of a sudden after that team fight, things are looking pretty bleak, as it means that Aura aren't in a position to contest this Dragon. It's going to be an uncontested Soul for CFFC, and this game suddenly got a whole lot harder.
I think they're torn between wanting that Alawi in a side lane and needing the Alawi there with them for the team fights that are just happening all over the map.
Yeah, Hecarim is one of those champions where he's so fast and there's not really enough reliable CC on the side of
But with the resets... Okay, I thought off-roll we're gonna just look to go straight to Baron and try and catch him unaware. Or sneaky beaky like, you know what I mean?
They did see Zeri on the side of the map, so it might have been an advantage, but they do not decide to go for the Hail Mary Baron.
Rip Winter moving down. MDib is moving into that top lane on the Garen, and they see Zeri mid. So we may see a little bit of an ARAM coming up soon. But everyone's going to go into the jungle instead. Just keep trading vision, put some down, clear the others, and then let yours be cleared and vision restored to the jungle. They are running down the top lane here, and they look like they're going to set up a bush camp, potentially, as they expect off-roll to try and collapse onto the Garen.
They do not take the bait, and once again we're seeing this Alawi return to a comfort zone in the side lane. And if you're off-roll Aquarium, I would say pretty much your only way back into this game is buying enough time around this Baron Nashor for allowing to put in some work on the base and create some pressure. Wibbly team going back down to answer it. This could be an opportunity for off-roll Aquarium to start hitting the Baron. They might start heading towards it. Hecarim does traverse the map pretty quickly, but it looks like they might be on it. Ashe is not unfortunately there to DPS. But Alawi might be able to get a TP in. She has TP advantage over Garen. So if she backs off here and tries to TP over to the Nashor, it could be a play. But Aura having to peel off the Nashor here. As Wibbly Team dives onto February, and it's just too much damage coming from Wibbly Team right now. We see both members of the off-roll Aquarium bot lane drop, and CFFC, you imagine they look for some mid lane pressure and maybe translate that into a Baron following. As Garen leaps onto the Alawi, not doing much damage.
I almost feel like...
And we're going to see who wins this 1v1. Alawi drops the ultimate, dealing a lot of damage to Garen right now.
A lot of damage to Garen.
But I think she's needed back in the base if they're going to stop this CFFC push. The Hextech Soul slowing down Winter as he maybe feeling a little bit frustrated right there.
Alawi not backing yet.
Alawi not backing. Base race, baby. Let's see it, dude. As CFFC going to peel off. Not going for anything. Not going to overextend. Not going to throw away their lead. Oh, I'd imagine they look towards the Baron.
Garen coming back for round 2. Alawi no ult this time.
No ult. You think it's Garen favored?
February 14th is just going to be jumped on again. Gale forces away, but it's not going to be enough. And this should be game.
If anything's going to call it, I think that would. February 14th, getting the Hecarim experience, getting the true AD carry experience. Can't leave his base without getting run down by this Hextech Soul CFFC. As Winter's back online, But this guy's full tank. He doesn't have the damage to cut through all these members. We're going to need to see some absolutely huge numbers coming out from the Malawi if she's going to have any say in whether or not CFC end right here. Takes down the clone, but I think they should be able to burst her down. And when all said and
Valiant
done,
effort from off-roll, but we are going to see another CFFC victory.
yeah, I mean, it seems like a running trend. Often people do go toe-to-toe with CFFC in the early game. We even saw a gold lead for off-roll for substantial periods throughout that game.